Welcome to the Vet S.O.S podcast. Remember, don't try to see a transition. Grab the Vet S.O.S lifeline. Vet S.O.S is brought to you by the Who You Know Network, and we're proud members of the Parade Day community. Today, we're sitting down with JR, founder of True Top 1% Foundation. Looking forward to learn more about the work his organization is doing to help our veteran community. As always, we're here with Keith, doing life, brother. How you doing?
Doing life's an understatement. I'm a little tired, but I'm here and I'm glad to be here. So, how you doing?
Man, I'm hanging in there. You know, it's been a week, man. It's been a week. So get a little R&R this weekend and see where we go from here.
Do it all over again. Absolutely.
Exactly. Welcome to Groundhog Day. All right. So let's jump right into this. We got JR. He's the founder of True Top 1% Foundation, dedicated to helping military veterans through art therapy and mental health initiatives. Inspired by his family's military background and his personal experience with a brother's struggle, JR works to create a supportive space for veterans to heal through all creative outlets. His programs, such as Arts for Vets and Captain S. Claus, aim to raise awareness around veteran suicide prevention and mental health. He is passionate about providing veterans with tools for healing, self-expression, and resilience. How you doing today, JR?
Truly blessed. How about you?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So let's start with sort of your background here. How did you get to working with veterans? Like, really, what led you to that?
I fell into it. I literally just I got into art and I literally just stumbled into it. Actually, I've been doing art my entire career or my life. My career and background is actually in sales. My last 5 years prior to the pandemic, I got into behavioral science and body language and micro expressions to try to learn to be a better salesperson. And then the pandemic happened and everything went to hell. I got stuck in Texas. My wife kind of enjoyed that. And well, when I was down there, I worked with my dad who worked with the animal shelters. And so we got into working with animals and I started drawing because I got bored. I just had nothing to do. So I started doing some things for the shelter, did other nonprofits, and then ran into a guy from Fort Hood. And then one of our friends down there was coming up on an anniversary. So we were for a soldier who passed away because of an IED killed in action in Afghanistan from like 2005, 2007. And I did a piece for her and her husband. And it was a really good feeling, got into art and wanted to use that. And then it was just a snowball effect after that. It started in 2021. And then we got into art, doing art specifically, what's called now the Painting for PTS program, where we take pictures or take veteran stories and turn them into art pieces as a therapeutic release. I'm like, I like this. Let's do this. For about 2 years, I did that. And in 2022, it kind of snowballed into different programs because back in 2015, when my brother got out, I remember one day, I don't know what I was doing, but I went to his trash can and I was dumping something out. And all I saw was a bunch of lottery tickets, alcohol and cigarettes. Mind you, my brother, when we were growing up, hated cigarettes. Like our stepmother smoked all the time. I remember he got pissed off that she came in the car with a cigarette. I'm like, oh my goodness. And now he's doing it like this whole thing. Anyways, I'm like, okay. And then I remember seeing him a couple years later, better condition than what he was. And he got into culinary arts. He got into cooking. Fantastic cook. Went one day for Thanksgiving. It was like something you'd see on the Food Network channel. I mean, his setup was delicious. Had a spiral ham. Fantastic. Needless to say, I went in to say this smells good. And as I said, this smells, the fire alarm in his house went off. He looked at me with the most I'm going to kill you face. And I didn't talk to him for like 2 days after that. But no, he's still doing good. He's a great guy and he's a fantastic cook, great uncle to our kids. And well, he's taking back on that. I'm like, you know what? Let's use art, but not just drawing, painting. Let's bring culinary arts, music, therapy, podcasting. Let's bring it all into the fold. Although we're still a long ways from bringing everything into it, but that's still our focus for the goal. Right now, we do things like trauma and fire therapy, painting for PTS. We ship out art supplies across the globe because we understand downtime is the worst time, and that's kind of where we fit in. So that's our focus, is getting you out of your mind during these times of, just boredom, so to speak, and getting you to use your hands as a tool of communicator or expression. Rather than just talking about it, we want you to get in an active state, so you're focused more on something else, essentially.
That's awesome. And I gotta tell you, man, I got scared there for a minute. It looked like you're gonna get attacked by the cat in the background.
Oh no, that's not the cat. That's our dog. So that's Ruby, actually. Yeah, the couch. It's not the couch, but anyways, yeah, no. So that's
it looked like it was like up on a shelf or something, ready to pounce.
Trust me, she'll pounce on you. No, so she's actually Ruby. She's our long-haired shepherd. We take her. So we've been thinking about this for a year, but actually at an event in Texas, we found her. And anyway, so her job is literally bring her to different outreaches that we do. And she's supposed to be a dog to help bring comfort and anxiety, depression, and bring comfort to our Russians, help with pressure therapy, identify panic attacks. Although we're only 3 months in training, but literally her job is to get pets, is to help with when we're doing our veteran outreaches, is to help bring comfort and, take the mind off of any stresses that they have. And it's actually worked. We've taken her from Nevada to here. She travels very well. And there you go. See, there you go.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. It's a hard job, to just walk around and get petted all day long. Someone's got to do it though. And
trust me on it. This girl, oh my goodness, in 4 hours, we did a 12-hour shift. Every 4 hours, this dog was taking like a nap, like I'm pooped. I'm like, all you do is get pets and then you get like liver treats.
It's a hard job, man. It's a hard job. It's and I got two shepherds and they are complete opposites. One, she would love that job, just being pet all day. She'd be all in. And the other one needs an emotional support dog. So I don't know how I got this mix, but that's fantastic. Keith, what are you thinking about this whole art side of it? I know being a musician and everything, that it's got to be something that's intriguing, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not artistic in the visual art regard at all. I still draw stick figures and stuff, but just the expression of oneself, it's absolutely critical to be able to get out of your own head, like you said, JR, like that release, that escape, if you will. I mean, for me, it's picking this thing up and plucking away at it for a little while, just to kind of escape from my own self. They say that, the most dangerous place in the world is between my two ears, and I don't like to go there alone at night. So, this is an amazing thing. So I'm curious, I heard travel and stuff. So like, how does the program work? Do you put on like workshops, or do you put like on like clinics that are for extended period? Like how do people, when they sign up, I guess, for your services, like what can they expect to experience?
So let's start off. Our services are always free to any military, veterans, active duty, on base, off base, VFW, doesn't matter to us. If you're a veteran, our whole concept is if you at least spend 1 day in service, all of our services are free for you. But literally, it all depends on what you want. We have something called the Captain S. Claus program. It's Captain Santa Claus. We have them dressed up in full gear, custom designed, tailored Santa suits that are made from like your OCP or your military fatigue
nice
uniforms, and he brings art supplies and joy and cheer wherever he goes. Sometimes we'll go to like places like Raising Cane's, or we'll go on base. We'll go to the vet center Christmas parties, and his job is literally just to bring satisfaction. Like when we go on bases, because our Santa Claus we have one for each branch of service. Like we went to Grissom Air Force Base in Indiana, and we brought the Air Force Santa with us, and we had so much more fun from the actual airmen than we did the children coming up, because they were so excited to see a Santa in Air Force uniform, and so that's the same thing we try to bring, and it's free again. All you have to do is simply give us a call, say, hey, come on out. If you're talking about the art supplies, where we ship out art supplies across the globe, it's a mental health toolkit. Again, idle hands are the devil's playground, and we want to keep them active. And we believe art to be the key to the betterment of mental health. So to encourage art in all fields, I don't care if you want cooking supplies, if you want drawing, painting, woodworking, sheet metal work, stained glass. You need a new guitar string, or a cello string, which costs $50 for just one, by the way. Just one little string, $50. Anyways, you get $150 values of whatever it is, give or take a couple bucks. And you can literally tell us, hey, I'm getting into this, give me something, or you have a specific list of things you want, whatever it may be. We'll literally go out and get it, ship it to you via Amazon, purchase it, find deals, whatever, up to $150. And then we'll mail it out to you. Free and clear. We don't take any shipping costs, no subscription fees. We won't take anything. Again, with the whole concept being ideally to get you to focus on art. And we even do it on an indirect basis, which basically means that if you have children or a family that actually participate in art and you don't, like Lego or building or, building cars or model kits or something like that, just simply give us a call and say, hey, I'm not into art, but my family is. Can I get some supplies for them? Our home condition is if you want to do that, we have no problem with it, but you have to promise, we take you on your word, that you're going to participate with your kids. And this helps with ending the isolation so that they're bringing in their family into the work. But more importantly, they're focused on self-expression and not even realizing the healing factor of putting together a car or being Legos or being creative. And, subsequently, it helps in the healing process as well. So we have no problem bringing in the family as part of the healing as well. And then we do art classes. I mean, we're talking free art classes. We do it on bases. We're going to Fort Meade in April to take part in, what is it called? They have this all month long program. I just found out about it yesterday. Like, hey, you're going to Fort Meade. All right. And it's like the last week in April or something like that. I forget what it is. It's with the Glass Woman Foundation, something. I forget. Anyways, great organization. I was talking to him for like 30 minutes. I don't know why. I'm forgetting about it now. But anyways, we're going to do our beer bottle paintings with them where we paint using a beer bottle. And that's actually a PTS awareness campaign that we do where you take your most self-destructive form of self-medication, which is alcohol, and it causes 20% of veteran suicides, and we have you paint with it. And we have a 10-week detox that we've designed that we're still working with and trying to get the Road Home program in Chicago to introduce this 10-week inpatient course where you're painting with your vice, Corona, Modelo, vodka, whatever you drink with is what you paint with 5 to 7 days a week, 3 to 7 hours a day for the entire 10 weeks. So by disassociation, we're able to transfer the bottle from a tool of suppression to a tool of self-expression. And that's like an independent course that we do by itself, bring it into the fold at the BFWs, at Legions, and, on bases. But if you want to take care of it, you want to participate in art class, it doesn't have to be a therapy. It could just be a camaraderie event, bringing people together at a bar, at an expo center. It doesn't matter. You just give us a call. Say, hey, I got a bunch of veterans. As long as they're only veterans, any non-veteran that participates, there's a $30 charge for the tools that we use. And the reason why that is because we use really good tools. I mean, we have these like silo small little engravers that we use, right? $60 tools for our veterans to do glass etching. We have these dual pin wood burning sets that we bring as well. Have the pins, not the little $10 one that's like this freaking big with the not that big. They're really small detailed pins. We do everything from 3D printing, painting. One of our lead artists who actually has taken over the classes, Bree, has brought so much variety into what we do now. So we can literally, the sky's the limit in terms of what type of art class we can do. And then, of course, the individual training classes like your trauma on fire, trauma on a canvas, your painting for PTS. There's a little thing with that because we need to have a licensed therapist in the state that we're participating in. So like we have a couple people in Texas that we need a therapist for that's licensed in Texas to do painting for PTS, which is you take a soldier's or service member's a story and turn it into an image or a piece of art, therapeutic release. It's a 3-month-long program that we have associated a therapist from before you actually start the conversation to the day, or actually to a month after you've opened the piece of art. And that usually takes about 3 months, about 2 weeks to get through the story and the art concept, to 2 months of the artist actually working on the program, and then another 2 to 3 weeks for the after effect, just to make sure there's no triggers. And, if we have to, find you a therapist to help deal with the issue, and then make sure that we remove the image if it does become an issue. But our goal of the therapist is to actually work with the artist to ensure there is no backlash or triggers with art that's being designed, so we don't have that effect later on. And then just to give you an idea, so I don't know if you see this right here, but this is the idea. Don't worry about it, but this is all painted with a beer bottle. So to give you an idea, I don't know why. That's the only one I have here. I've done better work, much better work, but that's just to give you an idea.
It's better than I can do with a regular paintbrush. So,
well, actually, so the reason why we use a beer bottle in individual classes in the class format is because the repetition of the remedial activity has proven to significantly decrease depression and increase creativity and cognitive behavior. Adjusting your serotonin levels, where you're just focusing on the dots, the repetition. You're not trying to do a straight line, and there's no really focus on it. So you can actually lose yourself in the repetition and create art at the same time, because you're really just filling it in instead of trying to draw and make sure it all looks good. I mean, the actual dots and the what is it called? The texture is meant to be there, and that you can avoid the whole concept, oh, this is going to look right, and you can just change it around. It's more fun that way.
Nice. You have so many things going on. It's just fascinating.
Half of them.
That's impressive. So, do you guys? You mentioned the Road Home program. Friend of the show. We've had them on there. Fantastic program. Let me try saying that in English. So, how do you put all this together? Do you reach out to these other veteran support organizations and try to coordinate events? Are you working with like MWR on basis to try to work with like the Arts and Crafts Center? So what kind of pieces are you looking at there, and how do you pull it all together?
So for the bases, we work with the family readiness team on the bases across the country, and they actually have like one thing is the Fort Hood. They have these. I was told, and we're trying to get into this. Is they have these this class, so to speak. If you get caught on base drinking, you have to go to this Thursday class that they have every week, where they just read you the riot act, and they have this list of things that they go through on why drinking is bad and the whole 9 yards. And I at this last event we were at, I met I think someone from Family Readiness, and they told me about it. I'm like, hey, we have this beer bottle thing that if we can find out what they were drinking while you're reading the riot act, because I'm not going to say the name, but they suggested that it was just a lot of bullshit you're reading. The same thing over and over and over again. You have some repeat offenders. So, to break it up and bring it back to
repeat offenders.
Just a few of them. Anyways, it's just drinking, right? No, forgive me. Sorry. Anyway, so they have this class. So I was like, hey, you know what we can do is we can, bring it into this association. We can have them paint with their bottle of choice, whatever they were caught drinking or whatever, and actually have them paint while you're reading it to bring something else into it. And then we go on bases, Grissom Air Force Base, Fort Meade, and all that. And we do different art classes through Family Readiness. But for the most part,
let me jump in real quick. What were they open to that idea?
In Texas? Yes. Have we actually started it? No.
Okay, so they're still just reading the riot act. They're not actually looking at the deeper problems or anything.
I don't want to get into that part right there, because I don't know the whole thing. I just know that at the time there was a conversation, and then we led into that from that conversation, and they were like, "Yeah, this is all we do is BS. I love this thing. I'd like to bring it on," and I'm still waiting for that phone call.
Keith and I are 20-year veterans. We understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right, continue with where you're going.
Anywho, so what we were doing is like family readiness, but for the most part, how we get out there and we do these outreaches is we do a lot of networking. We go out to these different events because when I started this program, our whole concept was to make sure this was free and we could reach as many veterans as possible. So in order to reach as many veterans as possible, we have to go out there and make it available, because we don't have the money to go out there and advertise across the country. We don't have the money to go or the people to go across the country and start trying to do these, media tours just to get the word out there. So, and some of them, they see you online. It doesn't really matter because, they're not going to pay attention. They're just going to scroll left. So we have an art display that we have out there to bring them in. And of course, Ruby helps out as well. And then we meet the families, we meet the friends, we meet the people that know the situation, and then they start sharing the information, and then they start bringing it out. And then, and the repetitiveness of seeing us over and over and over again, drills it in. It's free. It's part of our veteran outreach. And the more veterans we reach, the more we can help. I mean, that's been our whole tagline the whole time. So in order to do that, we got to get out there. And so we go to these different events, from the MIC where we met to, where we're at right now. We're at the MST conference here during the restoration in Wisconsin. We go to Walmart, Sam's Club, Lowe's, do retail fundraisers that are also outreaches, more importantly, outside these stores. And we just go out and network, try to, pass out business cards and just let people know we're free. And I've always been told when I started out the foundation that the problem with a lot of foundations is they try to reinvent the wheel. So I was told, don't reinvent the wheel. Partner, go out there and work with these different organizations. It's not a competition to help people. It may be a competition for funding, but it's not a competition to help people. So go out there and make partnerships and work with. Don't just try to recreate and take from them. Although I'm not going to lie, our Painting for PTS program, we did take from the Warrior Rounds concept out of Tennessee, where they have a group of musicians that take a veteran story and turn it into a song. Yep. And we turn ours into paintings and other forms of art, and I appreciate them for that. Other than that, we have not stolen or tried to recreate the wheel, and we just what? And I think that was the reason why they told me that. It's kind of created my own program from the same thing. Like, you can just partner with them, right? Sometimes. So I'm like, yeah. I like mine.
What's funny is, organization. Yeah, when I was gonna say, it was funny that came to my mind when you were describing that part of your program where they create art for these veterans. I was like, that sounds just like that's literally what came to my mind was Operation Sun. So, quick question, kind of maybe off the wall, random question, but the veteran community can tend to be a rough and tumble group, right? We like to think ourselves are we're gung ho, we're hard people, all that kind of stuff. So when you start talking about something squishy and soft like art, I can imagine a lot of our communities pushing back on that a little bit, not in an aggressive way, but just like, I don't want to put any part of that. So I'm just curious, like, do you have like kind of like a success story where you just like the most rough and gruff, just nasty, crotchety old veteran came in and just like totally got blown away by the whole thing?
I mean, I've had some old, not Korea, I think it was Vietnam, probably, veterans that we took to what was it called, in Berrien Springs, Michigan. We had it was one of our first beer bottle events, and you could see them, struggling with the whole concept of art. The wife made them come. We're just sitting there with our arms crossed, and some of them came out and like, I'm just doing this just for her, blah blah blah. And then you had some of them that actually really got into it. There was a couple Marines sitting at one table where it was almost a competition in one area, because they got together. Oh, Marine, oh, what's up, hey? over here, this table. And it was funny just to see the interaction. And again, our art classes are about art, but art is also about the function of it and just being able to do it and get it out of the system. And we saw that come to play in that table, and it was really cool. But now for your rough and tumble, we actually have classes. We believe art to be the key to the betterment of mental health. So we focus on other ways to bring art to you. Woodworking, sheet glass metal, wood burning. We found that a lot of your rough and tumble guys, glass etching, they love that combination of art. And so they get into that more. We have people asking for chisel sets a lot. I have a what was it called? A tabletop wood sander. It was like $250. Now we have a thing where we have $150 in value, but there's certain cases where if you have a reason behind it and you can prove it, we can take it to the board and they can approve a little bit higher. And that's what would happen with this young man in Indiana, where he was actually doing, he was making trophies and different things with wood, but he was doing it for free for like, what is it called? Baseball teams and whatnot. So our little leagues. And so we were like, this is a perfect thing. It helps him and it helps other people. Okay. You know what? $250 isn't bad. Let's get it. And so we ended up getting him this massive tabletop sander, dual one. It had a whatever. And that was, I believe, one of like 3 different larger pieces that we've done for other individuals that needed, or especially our veterans that needed to do it for help. So, and then also we work with other nonprofits, outdoor different nonprofits that will literally take veterans out hunting, hiking. There was talk actually at a group for Mission 22 that has in San Diego has these hiking events, or will actually take an artist that will carry everything. And when you're taking and break down and you're just sitting out there looking at the scenery, we'll actually have the artist distribute canvases, little art kits, drawing, whatever it may be. And then we'll teach you to draw the scenery that you see in front of you, or paint it, or what have you. Wow. So we integrate that hunting, fishing or whatever, do the same thing, same concept, because again, downtime sometimes is the worst time. It's in between your ears. You got to get it out, and that's what we try to do.
Nice. Well, man, this is a fantastic program, and we met at the MIC. We talked a little bit about it, and definitely opened my eyes to a whole bunch of additional things that you guys do, which is fantastic. But as we get ready to close out, man, how do people learn about where your events are and how do they connect with your organization?
Well, like I said, our job is to go to the veterans. So you tell us where it is and what's going on, and we'll bring it out to you. I don't care where you are in the country. We want to be a national organization. And if we have to drive to Minnesota, Missouri, Vermont, it doesn't matter to us. Wherever the veterans are, that's where we go. So if you have the program, you want to do it, you give us a call. We'll try to integrate it for you as best we can, if not successfully. Or if you want to just partake in the art supplies, you just go to tt1p.org. We have a list of our programs. They're called Arts for Vets programs. And you just go into there, click it, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it. But traditionally, go to info@truetop1%.com and shoot us an email. Say, hey, I want to do this program. I want to do the toolkits or whatever it is. And generally within 24 hours, at worst case 72, we'll give you an email back or call you up and say, hey, let's make something happen.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. Thank you so much, JR, for coming on today. This has been an amazing episode. And I just want to make one point. He said info.truetop1%, the number 1, but it's percent is spelled out. And if you're listening and not watching, you can't see the bottom of the screen. You are spelling out the word percent instead of the actual sign. So,
yep.
But again, sorry. Yes, there we go. So yeah, JR, amazing work you're doing. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. And on behalf of the Vet SOS family, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. Vet SOS is growing and spreading its wings. You can follow us on all social media platforms. Make sure to check out all 3 of our shows and to follow and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts from. We're on YouTube, Reach Across America Radio, The Parade Deck, and all your favorite podcast platforms. And remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the Vet SOS Lifeline.